Maya Jacobs. She is the CEO of the Zalul Environmental Association, which is a group looking to protect rivers and seas in Israel. She joins us now from Tel Aviv. Maya, thank you as well to your patience. I know that we've got pushed back a little bit. All right, this is a horrible story. We know that there is a wide-reaching investigation that's going on in terms of finding out what really happened. But in terms of the cleanup effort, where do we stand?
Well, these are devastating views that we see. We're not accustomed in seeing such things. It's not only birds and small animals. As I said, we have sea turtles that are being cast to shore. And we also even had a whale here, which we're not sure whether or not was connected or not. These are really devastating views. And we have thousands and thousands of people who are just really it's really emotional for us because so many people are stepping forward and want to help and want to volunteer and make our beaches clean again. It might take weeks, maybe even months.
So that's what I was going to ask you, but we still don't know the exact extent of the disaster. We know that hundreds, if not thousands, of people have sort of volunteered to help clean up. But how long do you think it's going to take to make this maritime zone safe again?
We have very delicate ecosystems which are in small lagoons and in rocky areas along the coast, which are basically the home of the entire ecosystem because it's where the birds come to feed and the small animals come to feed. You know, it's the entire circle of life that starts there, and that's covered with tar. So it's handwork, as you can see in the photos here. We're trying not to go on with tractors in order to try and preserve as much as possible. So it's taking longer than we would want. On the other hand, we need to work as fast as possible because the tar is very, very soft now. So it's easier to collect. And once it becomes dry, it will be much more difficult.
You know, Maya, it's quite unfortunate that we only sort of question these things after disasters like this. And not only this, but also other disasters around the world. I mean, but it also shows us how critical, how crucial it is that we actually greatly reduce our reliance on these types of dangerous liquids of, polluting, that have the potential of polluting vast parts of our ocean.
I'm so happy that you're asking me this because we have growing numbers of offshore drillings going on in the entire Mediterranean basin, in the Eastern Mediterranean basin. This is in a time when all the world is trying to divest and stop investing into fossil fuels, which are so harmful to the environment and they're so harmful to our health. And we call, first of all, to cease all the future offshore drilling for gas and oil in the entire region and to create a big massive emergency crew that would serve all the countries around because we don't have sufficient emergency equipment. That's part of the reason why we're so damaged now, and we need help. So we want to have an emergency preparedness team for all the big oil companies that are in our area, and we're calling upon our government to stop offshore drilling altogether and to move as fast as possible to renewable energies. We're in an area with so much sun. We need to be the sun country.
That's actually a very good call, Maya. All right, I want to go back to sort of how this is affecting not only the people, but also other species that call that part home, the animals. I mean, tar exposure can be sort of deadly for humans, but we can avoid it by not going down to the beach, but it's a whole different story for these animals. I mean, you were mentioning this one particular whale. We don't know if it's 100% related to whether the animal actually ingested some of this black substance causing its death, but it has to be devastating for the local wildlife.
We have amazing dolphin families living across along our shore. A few dozens of dolphins, and they're very much in danger because they are animals that surface on top of the water, and they might be affected. Our experts say that it might take a few weeks even to know whether or not they were affected. Usually, we saw in the Gulf of Mexico, in the big BP oil spill, that dolphins were affected. This whale that died was covered in tar, but they don't know still exactly whether he died from it or not. And sea turtles. We had many baby sea turtles that were just hatched a few months ago and found covered. Some of them dead. Some of them were still able to save. These are really very sad things to see. Devastating.
Maya, I know that you just made a call that we need to actually move to these renewable energy sources, especially in this part of the world. But when it comes to sort of your organization and you monitoring the cleanup effort, in your opinion, how's it going?
What of both? The moving to renewable energies or the cleanup?
No, the cleanup. The cleanup.
The cleanup is going okay. It could have gone a lot better. We should have reacted faster. Not all the municipalities along the coast knew exactly what to do or were ready. We have a problem here. We're not prepared for emergency. There was supposed to be a law in this. There was a government decision to pass a law for emergency preparedness for such events in 2008 already. And 13 years after, we still don't have this law. We don't have sufficient equipment. We don't have sufficient manpower to actually know exactly what to do, to be able to manage this entire operation now that it's happening. And also our coastal municipalities, not all of them have the funds needed, and not everybody was working as sufficient as they should have. We have annual drills to try and practice this. And actually, we had a drill not very long ago, and we don't see much of the drill in practice right now.
Yeah, well, certainly not easy when you have 180 kilometers of your 190-kilometer coastline being affected with this ecological disaster. All right, Maya Jacobs, thank you very much for joining us here on the News Hour. I do appreciate it.